I was visiting a bird supply store when I mentioned to the owner that my wife and I had owned a hummingbird feeder but had never once seen a hummer at the feeder, so we tossed it out. I concluded that there were no hummers near our home. The shop owner asked where we lived. I told him, and then he said, "They are there. Not only do some of your neighbors have hummers on their feeders, but hummers are all over the village." What he said next was the take-home line. You just have to have eyes to see them. Once you do, you will see them everywhere. They are small and fast and camouflaged, but they are not that hard to spot. Eventually, we bought a new feeder, filled it, and waited until our eyes got accustomed to the sight of hummers. Chris and I now see them everywhere. When other people go on a walk with us, we often observe a hummer, but it is rare that our friends spot one. It takes experience. You need to learn to spot them out of the side of your eyes and acclimate to their habits of zooming and darting and taking shelter on obscure branches and even on telephone lines. But once you've learned to spot a hummer, you will see them everywhere because they are everywhere. Like angels, they too are all around us. Few of us have seen one because we first have to learn what we are looking for. In a good book about angels, Martin Israel, quoting a friend, wrote this: "Eternity lies all around us, and only a veil prevents us seeing it." The hum of angels surrounds us, and we only need ears to hear it or eyes to see them, or perhaps a special sense for them. After all, the Bible tells us that Balaam's donkey could see an angel that Balaam himself could not see. The passage suggests that Balaam was so insensitive to God that he failed to notice. At the end of her survey of angels, Jane Williams, author of an important book on angels, invites us to hear and join in the chorus. Behind, around, underneath, and through the day-to-day world that we inhabit is the song of the angels. It is beautiful, endless, joyful, and terrible. It will be sung whether we join in with it or not, but imagine the sensation of stepping into that angelic harmony and being caught up in its power and majesty. This is what the angels invite us to do. They long to teach us their song so that we, with them, can sing a hymn of praise to the glorious universe and its maker. It should not bother us that dimensions of reality exist that we cannot see. Dogs can hear sounds we cannot hear. Birds can migrate up and down the globe with a sense of direction that far exceeds our own. Those little hummingbirds somehow know when to head north and when to head south, and all of a sudden they disappear from our summer feeders. Their sense of timing is unerring. Squirrels can somehow smell or feel nuts planted underground for winter storage, and bees, well, bees are a world unto themselves. And those examples are just a few of the creatures living on earth. God knows vastly more than we do. God sees and senses vastly deeper than do we. So why should we think that only what we see, hear, or sense is all there is? There is a popular conviction that we can believe only in what we see and feel. The best word for this posture is arrogance. Bold and not beautiful. Belief in God, belief in angels. The hum of angels has been heard by theologians and pastors and priests, to be sure, but far more often by ordinary lay folks. Angels have been spotted by men and women and old folks and young adults. Doctors and lawyers and scientists and mechanics and landscapers and truck drivers all have seen them. Angels are no respecter of persons in their disclosures. Some people experience angels at a birth, others around the time of a loved one's death. Sometimes angels are seen by a dying person, and other times by loved ones who attend to the dying. Sometimes people experience an angel at the moment their loved one dies, a great distance away. Bible readers know that some angels appear during a person's sleep, and this too is common today. Most people who experience angels don't tell anyone, or if they do, they tell only a person or two. And in light of the skepticism of our scientific world, those who spot angels often make it clear that they are not that kind of person. But even so, they do think they saw an angel. The irony of our scientific age is that many people claim to have been visited by an angel in a hospital, and often enough it is a physician or nurse who reports the event.